Hi folks, welcome back to Kara's Kitchen Cooking. Today we're doing some yummy appetizers. I thought I'd show you 3 easy appetizers for this summer. Stay tuned. The first appetizer is what I like to call beef carpaccio. Sorry, not beef, beet. This is great for your vegetarian friends or anybody. What's really cool these days is you can now get beets that have been roasted and peeled for you, vacuum sealed at the grocery store. They are my best friend. I love these. I make pickles with them, and this appetizer, they're so versatile. And then my hands don't get completely all red from peeling and the roasting and the oven being hot, especially in the summertime. So let's get to it. We will be using your favorite kitchen tool, or my favorite, the mandolin. This is gonna make slicing the beets thin super quick and super safe, because remember, we need to use the safety. We want to avoid hospital visits. Okay, so I've showed you the beets. We're going to cut them. All right, so your hands might get like a little bit red, you know, at this doing this, but it's not as bad as if you were to sit there and peel a whole whack of beets. Nothing to say of this time saving that these pre-roasted peeled beets have. Okay guys, so remember how I showed you? We're gonna put our beets on here so we don't slice our hands. Stick that down, and then we're just gonna run it across. Now I got this beautiful plate. It was given to me when we got married, and it's such a pretty color. The beets are gonna pop. If you don't have a blue plate, white plate also works well. You see how beautiful our beets look and how thin they are? They're like little jewels. So I'm going to take all of these great beets that we just did, and I am going to place them on our plate, and I'm going to kind of start in the middle, and I'm just going to fan them out like this, and we're going to just keep doing this to the edge of the plate. See guys, you just kind of keep going. It looks so pretty, and it kind of looks like meat, doesn't it? I did this once for one of my vegetarian friends, and they really loved it. We're gonna pair this with a really yummy vinaigrette and a bit of avocado. I'm gonna do just one more layer here on the outside, and then we'll be finished. And if you have leftovers, okay guys, just put them in a container, and they'll be lovely in a salad the next day. Or if you have a lot of people, then you have enough beet to kind of fill the plate up again. Okay, so I have one cut up chopped avocado. I'm just gonna put a little bit of lemon juice on it. It helps to actually give it flavor, and it keeps it from going brown. Now I'm gonna do the little trick we've done in the past. Just mix it around a bit, and then we're going to put it in the bowl carefully, and we're going to squish it down just slightly, because we want to make this presentation look pretty, right? Okay, squishing. All right, so I'm going to bring it over here to my beautiful plate of beets, and I'm going to quickly just go whoop. And then we lift, and voila! Look how beautiful that looks, guys. All right, now we're gonna set this aside, and we're gonna make the beautiful vinaigrette. It is vinegar making time, not vinegar, vinaigrette making time. Vinegar's on my brain. I'm gonna be using 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. If you don't have apple cider vinegar, use the vinegar you have in the house. White vinegar will work here, as well as wine vinegar. Balsamic might be a little too strong, so that's the only one I say don't use, but all the others should be okay. So 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. 1, 2. We are going to use 2 teaspoons of olive oil, and this is where you use the good stuff, guys. This is where you use your extra virgin olive oil. 1. And I mean, if a little bit more than 2 teaspoons gets in there, that is totally fine. And we want 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, freshly squeezed. Again, I mean, fresh is best, but if you don't have lemon, you can use the stuff that comes in a squeeze tube. We want a teaspoon of grain mustard. A teaspoon of Dijon. Okay, so we want a half a teaspoon of agave. Agave is it's a sweetener. If you don't have agave, you could totally substitute some honey here, and it still tastes yummy. Okay, 2 teaspoons of chia seeds. These are what chia seeds look like. They're really high in fiber, and they have protein in them as well. They're kind of like a superfood. I'm gonna put a 1/4 teaspoon of a coarse salt. I like a coarse salt, and I think it would work well here. It'll dissolve a little bit. And then some fresh pepper. As much as your heart desires. Cover goes on, and then you just give it a really good shake. And it's as simple as that. Now we're gonna take our vinaigrette, and we're just gonna drizzle it over our beet carpaccio. A little can go over the avocado. See how pretty this is? It tastes just as good as it looks. I have about 3 tablespoons of chopped pecans here. If you don't have chopped pecans, you always use walnuts. And you might not use all of these pecans. Again, this gives texture. It looks beautiful. And then some chives, probably 2 tablespoons or so. Isn't that beautiful? So what I would do is I would put out some crackers for this, or some crispy bread, or you can just eat it like that. Lovely. Moving on to appetizer number 2. This one is great because it's all about assembly. There's hardly any cooking involved, really. All the ingredients can be purchased at the grocery store. Right here, I have cut some baguette. This is actually gluten-free baguette. Look at how beautiful that is. They're really making this stuff much better these days. Now, obviously, you can use a regular baguette. You can use ciabatta, whatever bread you have on hand. Here, I have about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and I love these handy-dandy brushes. They are so fantastic. So what we're gonna do is we're going to just brush both sides. This is so it gets crispy, guys, with olive oil. And you probably want to also, before you start doing this, turn your oven on, preheat it to 425. These babies are ready to go in the oven. Okay, so these guys are gonna go in for 6 to 9 minutes. What I'm gonna do is I will check them at 9 minutes. Remember, I told you to preheat your oven at 425. While that's cooking, now you can get your ricotta ready. I have chopped about 2 tablespoons of fresh chives. And this is some sun-dried tomato, probably about 3 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon of fresh oregano. Fresh oregano is really strong, so you don't need a lot. Now, I know I have in the past told you to use dried herbs if you don't have fresh, but in this instance, I would encourage you to use fresh because they're going to be softer, and you're putting them in the ricotta. We're not cooking them or anything like that, so I would go with fresh. If you only want to use chives, that's fine. Or if you only want to use oregano, that's fine. Or if you only have fresh basil, that's fine. You use the herbs that you want in your combination. Today I'm using oregano and I'm using chives. So I have made this ricotta the night before, but like I said, you can buy your ricotta from the store. So we're gonna go with that for now. It's probably about 1.5 cups or so. And if you need more, it's really easy to come in the kitchen and then just spoon a little bit more and add some herbs and things if you run out, okay? But we're gonna go with that for now. So in goes my oregano, my chives, a little bit of fresh pepper. I'm not adding salt because the ricotta has salt in it. All right, so you just mix this around. And that's easy, yummy herb ricotta, guys. These are done. They look great. They're nice and crispy. I'm gonna place them on the plate. So now this is a really easy step and it adds so much flavor. So what I did is I have a garlic clove that I've just cut in half. I kept the skin on it because I find it easier to hold. And all we're gonna do now is we're gonna take the garlic and we're gonna rub it on the bread. And what this does actually, it releases the garlic oils into the bread, and it's fantastic. It's the quickest, yummiest garlic crostini. It impairs so much garlic flavor, guys. Now, if you don't like garlic, obviously skip this step. Now we're gonna top that gorgeous garlic crispy crostini that we made with our ricotta cheese. Put as little or as much as you want. Have all been covered with our yummy ricotta. Now we're going to add a couple of the sun-dried tomato on top, just like so. Doesn't this look pretty? The green and the red. Sun-dried tomatoes are awesome. I love putting them in the morning with my eggs. They add such a burst of flavor, guys. Another one of my favorite tools in the kitchen, good scissors. My gram always used to have cooking scissors, a couple pairs, and that's where I got that from her. So at the end, I just like to kind of cut a couple little fresh chives on there so people know that they're in there, and it also just adds to the presentation. You don't need a lot, just a couple on top. And then we're just gonna finish with a couple grinds of pepper. And there you have it, guys. Herbed ricotta with garlic crispy crostini topped with sun-dried tomatoes. We are rounding the corner with our third appetizer. I personally love Big Macs. I know, McDonald's, but there's just something about the sauce and the ratio and the burger and the fake cheese. So this appetizer is a bunless burger bite with a Big Mac dipping sauce. So fun, so tasty. All right, we're gonna start with a half a cup of mayonnaise. Did you know Hellmann's now makes a vegan mayo? This is what it is right here, and it's so tasty. I can't have egg whites, so this is awesome. I sometimes also make my mayonnaise with aquafaba, but when I'm really busy, this stuff is great. Then we're gonna want 2 tablespoons of relish. The next ingredient is 1 tablespoon of onion, and they want you to grate it. I think that's because they want some of those juices. 2 teaspoons of mustard. I use French's because it's Canadian and also is yummy. Half a teaspoon of vinegar, white vinegar, just regular white vinegar. Then you're gonna want a half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, dash of salt. Okay, then we're gonna just mix all this up. And it's as simple as that. If you have leftover of this Big Mac sauce, great time to make hamburgers, full size, or this also is so yummy on hot dogs. Roast beef sandwich would be also yummy with this sauce. You can either do this the day before or the day of. Grab a bag of your favorite meatballs at the grocery store, already made, or you can make your own, but buying ones that are already made keeps things easy. Follow the package of directions in terms of cooking your meatballs. When your meatballs are done cooking, take them out and you're gonna cut little squares of cheese. Come on over, I'm gonna show you, see. So the meatballs came out, and then I put my little squares of cheese on top. I probably put them in for about 2 minutes at 400 and I checked them. You just want the cheese to melt. So depending on what kind of cheese you're using in your oven, it could vary. So I would check after 1 or 2 minutes. Now to assemble the burger bites. I found these awesome long toothpicks at the dollar store. First things first, we're gonna take one of our hamburger bites. That goes on first. My hands are clean, wash them already. Then we are going to, I pre-cut some pieces of lettuce. So just put a little piece of lettuce. There we go. Then we are going to put a pickle. This is a dill pickle. You can use sweet pickle. And a lot of the time you can actually get them that are already cut, but I just bought a jar of dill pickles and cut them. And then you finish off with a cherry tomato. How cute does that look? Isn't that awesome? All right, so we're gonna do a bunch more, and then I'm gonna show you how to plate it. Okay, so don't these look adorable? Oh my goodness. And another beautiful plate from a friend. And we're gonna put our Big Mac sauce in the middle. Guys, mini Big Mac mics. Say that really fast.
Big Mac mics.
Mini Big Mac bites. Oh my goodness. How adorable. And there you have it, guys. 3 fun, easy appetizers for summer. But really, you could make these anytime. Enjoy! Let me know how it goes. Hey, and don't forget, like and subscribe.